So to start off, I think empathy and ego drive are very important traits to have as a salesman. However, I don't think they're the most important traits to have. Um, the article made it almost seem like it was impossible to be a successful salesman if you don't have um, one of these traits or both of these traits. I know it gave some examples of times where it can be beneficial to have the trades rather than not have them in times of a sale. But there's so many variables that go into ultimately getting a sale that I think there's so many things that can go into it that can become successful. And I went into a lot of detail about it in my paper, but I just had some things highlighted that I wanted to bring up too. One of them, the uh, 4 reasons for sales failure. Um, Talked about tests. I've been looking for interests rather than ability, and they gave the example. Um, if somebody is interested in baseball or interested in Willie Mays or Mickey Mantle, that they can have the same ability as them, and I think that's just a little extreme when you're comparing it to sales because I just don't think they go hand in hand. Um, and another point to that, like when I think of that, I think of maybe like a medical salesman selling medical supplies. Um, I don't think those people are getting hired, based off their interests, and I think they go into a lot more depth than that, and that's an example of you know maybe bigger companies going into more depth in their maybe interview process or um, finding the people they're hiring rather than having a on paper application for some smaller sales businesses that you know don't get to know their person they're hiring as well as maybe some other businesses. So those were just a couple thoughts. Just main characteristics I think a salesperson should have, especially today. Um, is just being able to interact with people, different people, fluently, and just be able to talk and make them feel comfortable rather than, you know, maybe just shoving things down their throat that they don't want to hear, and maybe seem like you're pushing a sale because at the end of the day, it's their decision whether they're going to purchase uh, whatever it is. Um, so even though empathy and ego drive are very important, I don't think they're the most important.